Starfield is now officially set to release on the 6th of September of 2023. The new RPG was initially slated to release on November 11th of 2022, before then being pushed back into the first half of 2023. Bethesda then later confirmed it has been delayed further into the new September window, so on the 6th of September we'll be getting Starfield, and in this video we'll be going over everything we know so far about the game, from its prices, the platforms it's going to be on, and what we can expect within the game as well. Absolutely everything that we know so far. So let's waste no more time and let's get straight into the video. So when it comes to the platforms that Starfield will be releasing on, it's a little bit different. So Starfield is set to launch as an Xbox Series X console exclusive, and Bethesda has also confirmed that the RPG will also launch on PC, and this is a result of Microsoft's 7.5 billion acquisition of ZeniMax Media in 2021. This was a deal which included Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 creator Bethesda Game Studios. As with all games released by the Xbox Game Studios Collective, Starfield will be available for both direct purchase and via Xbox Game Pass and the PC Game Pass from the day of its release. So I think a lot of people, when they play Starfield, they'll be playing it through the Xbox Game Pass, whether that is on an Xbox Series X or S or on PC. But unfortunately, the game will not be on the older Xbox consoles, and it will not be on PlayStation at all. Of course, maybe one day in a couple years we might see it released on PlayStation, but even that is really unlikely. So to be honest, yeah, this is just an Xbox and PC exclusive. Of course, all Xbox exclusives tend to release on PC, so yeah, Starfield will be available on the 6th of September of 2023 for Xbox Series X and S and PC, whether that's through purchasing the game or through getting it on Game Pass. Now, in terms of the price for the game, games are getting more and more expensive these days. Of course, we're seeing £70, $70 games all the time now, so I would say with that being the sort of standard game price for next-gen gaming, with this era of gaming, I would say that that is definitely a likely price tag for this. But of course, if you're getting it through Game Pass, then you don't need to worry about that at all. So now let's talk about the setting of Starfield. Now, the Starfield setting is one of Bethesda's most ambitious yet. And now, whilst this is very ambitious, of course, we have to remember that this is Bethesda after all, and they did make Skyrim, so, you know, they are no stranger to building massive open-ended explorable worlds through the likes of course, their popular games of Fallout 4 and Skyrim, very massive open-world games that were very, very successful and very popular. So, yeah, we have no doubt that Starfield is going to be even bigger than them, and they're already big enough, so to get something even huger than that is going to be something massive. So, it is going to be actually set across the cosmos itself. The settled systems, as it's known in-game, is an area that extends outward from our solar system by approximately 50 light years. So as you can see, this is pretty ambitious. It sort of gives me some sort of No Man's Sky sort of vibes, to be honest, when I think about this. And obviously, No Man's Sky is a very big game, but I have no doubt this is going to be even huger. Of course, with a team like Bethesda behind it, we can really expect something huge. Now, of course, Bethesda have said that the area and setting will be massive, but of course, how much of this will we actually be able to freely explore remains in question. Now, Bethesda has confirmed that Starfield will have more than 100 systems and over 1,000 planets, but of course we may not get access to all of those, but hopefully we'll be getting access to the majority, if not all of them, when it does release. When it comes to the story of Starfield, the core Starfield story is very much a closely guarded secret. Although Bethesda has given out a few details, we know that Starfield takes place in the year 2330, 20 years after two of the largest factions in the settled systems, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective, engaged in a bloody colony war for territorial control. You'd assume the role of a member of the Constellation, an organization of space explorers trying to navigate what remains of the aftermath. Where you go and who you choose to side from there is up to you. Additionally, Bethesda has actually confirmed that Starfield's main quests will be 20% bigger than both Skyrim and Fallout 4, so we're going to be getting, hopefully, a very, very long story here. Now, we don't want anything too long. Of course, it can be long, but at the same time, you don't want it just loads of story padding and loads of unnecessary missions, so hopefully, we'll be getting, you know, maybe not quite as many quests, but those quests that are included are going to be longer, so making it actually a longer game than both Skyrim and Fallout 4. So yeah, the story, of course, we don't know much about it, but it looks very, very interesting. It looks like it will suit the setting of the game very well, and just, yeah, seems like a very solid story that's definitely going to help the overall gameplay. But now let's focus in on the gameplay. So now, while Starfield gameplay appears to be drawing heavily from other popular science fiction games like Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky, like we mentioned earlier, at its heart, it is still a Bethesda RPG. If you played any of the studio's Fallout or the Elder Scrolls games, then you'll definitely probably know what I'm talking about. Wide open spaces and settlements to explore, progression systems that reward you for investing time in the elements of the game that you enjoy, and an overall structure that leverages choice and consequence. So to put it simply, the gameplay is going to be really, really impressive from what we know and love from Bethesda games. Of course, Fallout 4 and Skyrim, like we've mentioned many, many times now, are great examples to go off. Outstanding gameplay, outstanding detail, outstanding worlds, and just an outstanding backstory as well, so hopefully we'll be getting the exact same with Starfield. Now Starfield will also include gameplay elements that are new to Bethesda games, such as flying ships in outer space, as well as a more considered focus on resource management, crafting and base building, and real-time combat with firearms. So obviously this is a new style of game, not really a new genre, but a new type of game within that genre, of course, this being a space-themed game. We always seem to get sort of fantasy worlds. In terms of the overall style of the game, Starfield is really switching things up, and it's definitely something new for Bethesda. Of course, yeah, the ideas are going to stay similar with the overall mechanics and everything like that, but of course there's going to be lots of new stuff as well, with it of course being a completely different setting to what Bethesda are used to developing. But of course, I have no doubt that hopefully they will deliver. Now, like Bethesda's previous RPGs, you'll be able to switch between a first and third person perspective at will. So it is both third person and first person, and the choice there really is yours. You can just go with what you prefer. Personally, I tend to prefer mainly using first person, since I feel like it's mainly how the game was designed to be played, but realistically that's all your choice, and at least that's me going off of Fallout 4 really there, so obviously it may be different with Starfield. So now let's talk about dialogue and the overall persuasion when it comes to talking with characters and how to interlude with the story. Now Bethesda recently teased the Starfield dialogue and persuasion system, which will give you yet another way to shape this adventure into your own. Now while you can choose to run and gun your way through the game, you can invest enough XP into obtaining the Gift of Gab, with Starfield launching into a turn-based minigame as you try to persuade NPCs around to your position. It looks to have a lot in common actually with similar systems seen in older Bethesda games like Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. It has been confirmed that Starfield has over 4 times as much dialogue as Skyrim, so taking the time to converse with NPCs will be a massive part of the experience and will definitely be something you'll be doing throughout a lot of the game. So hopefully you like that, and if you don't, then you might be in for a bit of annoyance, since obviously it's going to play a massive part, and Skyrim had a lot of dialogue, so to have 4 times as much dialogue as Skyrim is definitely something. So now let's talk about one of the main talking points with Starfield, and that is the ship customization. Now one of the most exciting new features in Starfield is the ability to clamber into a spaceship and of course explore outer space. You'll be able to pilot your ship freely within systems and engage into ship-to-ship combat, which are 2 elements of Starfield's experience that Bethesda is keen to dial into. Starfield shipbuilding has been confirmed, giving you the capacity to modify every single aspect of it. From what we've seen so far, it appears that ships are modular, allowing for you to modify all elements of their design, from the visual placement of the engines and cockpits to more considered and detailed choices such as how power splits between weapons, shields, and your light speed travel capabilities. So now let's move on to the crafting and research within Starfield. Now Bethesda has confirmed that the Starfield crafting and research systems are a huge part of the game. Not only will you be able to unlock mods and gear for your explorer, including the ability to improve your favourite weapons and your spacesuit, but you'll also be able to heavily invest in outpost expansions. At its most basic level, Starfield will allow you to run research projects to expand your crafting options, such as improvements to your jetpack or new mods to your pistol. And if you want to dig deeper into this, you'll be able to utilise base building systems similar to those seen in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 to more effectively mine and gather resources, and you can even assign NPCs to work at these outposts to ensure your research projects are completed with maximum efficiency. So obviously we do see a lot of this within Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 with your camp and everything like that, and that'll continue with Starfield, but obviously it'll be different style with it being a completely different style game. But at the end of the day, you'll also be able to have NPCs to work at these outposts to, really maximize the efficiency. So character creation in Starfield will definitely take a lot of time to go through, and that is just about every Bethesda game as well, but the studio is really leaning in this time. One key element of the character creator this time around will be in the Starfield backgrounds and starting skills. Bethesda is really leaning into the role-playing aspect of Starfield, so picking an appropriate backstory that reflects the type of character you want to embody will be key to enhancing your experience, particularly as NPCs may bring up your history or proficiencies in conversation and in key story moments as well. Now there have been 6 Starfield backstories revealed so far, one of which you'll be able to pick during character creation. These range from being a chef to being a diplomat, and these really do vary, so it's pretty cool that you'll be able to have access to all of these right at the start of the game as well. So now let's look at the actual skills and the skill trees within Starfield. Now the Starfield skill system appears to be a mix between those in Fallout and the Elder Scrolls. The Starfield skills are split into multiple tiers, falling under 5 different categories, those being physical, social, combat, science, and tech. Earning XP and investing it in skills that interest you the most and best serve the type of character that you're building, of course, will only enhance your chosen path. For example, if you like to play at range, you might want to invest in the sniper certification in the combat category, which ensures that scoped weapons are steadier and have less sway. Interestingly though, Bethesda has teased that there's more to the skill system in Starfield than meets the eye. You will actually be able to unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them and completing challenges. So similar to skills, there are also traits, which we'll get into now. So also during the character creation scene, you'll be able to pick up to 3 unique modifiers that carry both positive and negative effects. We know of 16 Starfield traits so far, and they appear to be optional indulgences that can further enhance the role-playing aspects at the heart of the experience, or increase the difficulty of certain aspects of the game if that's what you want to do. These traits also seemed perfectly placed to increase the replayability factor of Starfield, particularly when combined with other elements such as base building, crafting, and faction alignment. And well, there we go. That is everything we know so far about Starfield. Starfield's going to be a brand new game using the creation engine 2, so there's going to be no real limits with this game. So it's really awesome to see that we actually have quite a bit of information already. Of course, we don't know everything about the game, but personally, I'm really looking forward to that ship customization. I think that seems like something really interesting and could easily be one of the best features of the game. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game down in the comments below, and if you'll actually be getting it as well. Personally, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll definitely be picking it up through Xbox Game Pass when it does release. And that does just about wrap up things here. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. On screen now, you're seeing a link to a different video, and if you're interested in watching that, then just hit the link on the screen and go ahead and join me over there.